Everybody knows that Case was big into farm tractors, but before that they were big into steam power. And we've got the Anderson men from South Dakota here to talk a little bit about Case steam power. Kevin, tell us a little bit about, I guess, the history of Case with that kind of power, steam.
Yeah, Steam was the largest, or Case was the largest manufacturer of steam tractors. They made over 35,000 steam tractors, which is pretty amazing. You know, they were pioneering of the production of boilers, the production of taking that tractor being pulled with horses in the early years, to putting gears on it, to putting huge power behind it, and it's very exciting. This is a 1923 Case steam roller, and they were used for rolling down gravel roads and pulling graders behind them, and also for rolling down asphalt roads. And they were actually the road building division of the Case company, similar to Case Yellow today.
So tell us a little bit about what it's like to try to operate a Case steam roller.
Well, in the morning you have to get up and you got to make sure the boiler's full of water, and you got to build a fire in there with wood. And once we get a good wood fire going in there, then we put coal in it, and when we get steam up, then we're able to start operating it. And what's unique about this roller is that it does not have a steering wheel. The Case company came with power steering for some of their special tractors, and all we have is a lever. When we want to go left, we pull the lever to the left. We want to go right, we pull a lever to the right. So it's very neat system. So power steering isn't anything new.
So here at Albert City, we've got some other Case steamers from 1912, 1913. This is later, 1923. How long did they keep going with these kind of engines?
Well, it kind of ended in about 24 or 25. You know, the convenience of the internal combustion gas tractor, where one guy could do it, was a big deal. You know, and they weren't very reliable early on, but as the spark systems got better, the fuel systems got better. So there was always the rivalry, the steam guys and the gas guys, you know, and the steam guys were the best, and then the gas guys were the best. So it was always this fun rivalry, and we still kind of try to carry that on a little bit today.
And Kevin, you have had a little bit of help from a guy next to you, Kory, your son. Kory, you're the fireman, is that right?
Yeah, well, today I'm helping Dad on the steam roller, and I've been around steam engines since I was 5 days old. So we went to Rolog, Minnesota, to the Steam Threshers show there when I was 5 days old, and ever since I was a boy, I ran the largest steam engine that Case produced, the 110 Case, that Dad restored about 30 years ago, just when I was born, and so I've been running that, and then also we're working on building the largest steam tractor that the Case company ever produced, and there's none left in existence today. The 150 horse Case, they built about 7 of them, and nothing remains today. So it's a bit like the Titanic of the tractor industry, because biggest one ever produced, and none left today. And so we're working on finishing that up and hope to have it finished next year for our show in Andover.
So you've been around steam tractors since you were 5 days old. What is it about these machines that you think is pretty special?
Well, it's a combination of just the interest in the mechanics and burning coal and the fire. When I was young, always interested me because I was a little boy, and I think little boys are attracted to fire, good or bad. But I always liked to fire them, and then I liked to run them as I got older, and then as you continue to go to shows, it's really the camaraderie and the friends and the people that you meet, and you really just like to come back and connect with all the friends and hear the old stories again, and they never get old. So
hang out with your dad a little bit too, huh?
Exactly. Yeah, Dad and I have been connected by the steam hobby ever since I was a little boy, and he taught me a lot of really valuable lessons and restoring them. I restored my first steam engine when I was in high school, about 18 years old. I finished that one, and Dad taught me a lot through that process, and the more you learn, the more interested you get in it. It's like anything, and so after going through the process of actually building one myself, it really helped to lock me into the hobby and secure my interest there, and just wanted to keep doing more. So
Kevin, tell us just a little bit more about this Case steamroller. What kind of engine is it inside there?
The engine is a 7-inch bore and 7-inch stroke engine, and it develops about 35 to 40 belt horsepower. And they really didn't require them to be pulling a real heavy load. They were more for the weight.
And how much weight is there in a case steamer like this one?
Well, this one is slated at a 10-ton roller, and so it's probably slightly closer to 12-ton. We weighed it when we hauled it here from Andover, South Dakota, and so you were getting your full weight for sure. They weren't saying, well, it's only 8, but no, it's well, almost 12-ton.
And what is it about Case that stands out for you guys?
Well, both Kory and I have been attracted to a very simple design engine, and they had fantastic manufacturing qualities. If we perchance ruin a part and we're able to find another part, that part will actually bolt right together and go right back on the engine. And that only happens with the high numbers of production that the Case company have, So, yeah, it's wonderful. It's a great hobby. Lots of young people are into it.
And when you take one of these in a parade, Kory, what's the reaction? What do you get from the crowd?
Oh, there's a lot of, just a lot of, I think, shock and awe, and a lot of people have never seen a tractor that is this large and heavy and runs so quietly. I mean, you can hardly hear them running unless they're really pulling hard. And then you've always got the little kids that want you to pull the whistle. And it's always a good feeling just knowing that you're preserving history and helping people see a huge piece of American history and agriculture, and helping people understand the amount of work and how things were done 100 years ago.
All right, Kory and Kevin Anderson, thanks so much for sharing the story of the Case steamroller.
Well, and thank you, folks at Classic Tractor Fever. It's just a fantastic group. I love all the stuff you do, because it's like the people like you that help keep this hobby alive, and people need to know about it, and that's what's so cool, So thank you.
All right, thanks, Kevin and Kory. And yes, sir, a Case steamer from 1923. It's going to have a 100th birthday before too long, but it's still going strong. Thank you for catching Classic Tractor Fever. If you can't get enough Case, be sure to check out these other stories. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to keep more Classic Tractor Fever rolling.